Ephesians chapter 2, From Death to Life, Walking in Yahuah's Covenant. Not a new religion, but the restoration of his covenant people. What is the true scriptural context of Ephesians 2 verse 8 to 9? Compared to most religion teaching doctrine today? For by favor you have been saved through belief, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of Elohim. It is not by works, so that no one should boast. This video is for reference purposes only. I highly encourage everyone to read the scriptures and the apostolic writings for much better understanding. Many religious systems use these verses to teach obedience is no longer necessary. The Torah has been abolished. Works have no place in Yahuah's plan. Belief alone matters. But this is not the context of Ephesians chapter 2. The question is, saved from what? The context starts in Ephesians 2 verse 1, and you were dead in trespasses and sins. The subject is not whether Torah exists. The subject is how sinners are brought from death to life. No human can erase his own sins. No human can purchase forgiveness. No human can earn reconciliation with Yahuah. That deliverance comes from Yahuah's favor, not of yourselves. Shaul is destroying human pride. Yasharal could not boast. The nations could not boast. No one can stand before Yahuah and say, I saved myself. Salvation begins with Yahuah's mercy. Deuteronomy 7 verse 7 to 8. Yahuah did not set his love on you nor choose you, because you were more numerous than any other people. For you were the least of all peoples. But because of Yahuah loving you, and because of him guarding the oath which he swore to your fathers, Yahuah has brought you out with a strong hand, and ransomed you from the house of bondage, from the hand of Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim, not because they earned it. The pattern has always been favor first, not by works. What works? The verse does not say, not by obedience. The verse does not say, not by Torah. The verse does not say, not by keeping Yahuah's commandments. It says not by works, so that no one should boast. The emphasis is on earning salvation. No amount of human effort can remove past sin. No amount of human effort can force Yahuah to save someone. Salvation is a gift. The biggest error is stopping at verse 9. Most people quote Ephesians 2 verse 8 to 9, but ignore Ephesians 2 verse 10. For we are his workmanship, created in Messiah Yahusha unto good works, which Elohim prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. Verse 8 to 9 mentioned not saved by works, but verse 10 cleared saved for good works. This changes everything. Good works do not produce salvation. Good works are the result of salvation. This is the same pattern found throughout Scripture. Yasharal was saved from Egypt first. Then they received the Torah. They did not obey to escape Egypt. They obeyed after being delivered. Exodus shows the same pattern as Ephesians. Deliverance first, instruction second. Favor first, obedience afterward. Many religious systems create a false choice. Favor or Torah, belief or obedience, mercy or commandments. Scripture never creates this division. Psalm 119 shows love for Torah. Deuteronomy 30 shows love expressed through obedience. Jeremiah 31 verse 33 says the Torah will be written on the heart. For this is the covenant I shall make with the house of Yasharal after those days, declares Yahuah. I shall put my Torah in their inward parts, and write it on their hearts. And I shall be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. The new covenant does not remove Torah. It moves it from stone tablets to the heart. True belief always produces action. Abraham believed, then he obeyed. Noah believed, then he built. Moses believed, then he acted. Rahab believed, then she acted. Belief without action is empty. Obedience without belief is also empty. Yahuah desires both. Ephesians 2 verse 8 to 9 is not a message against Torah. It is a message against boasting. The real enemy being attacked is human pride. Man wants to claim credit. Man wants to say, I earned it, I deserve it, I saved myself. Shaul destroys this idea completely. Everything begins with Yahuah's favor. Everything flows from Yahuah's mercy. Everything depends on Yahuah's plan. Yet the same favor that saves also transforms. The same favor that forgives also teaches. The same favor that redeems also leads to obedience. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8 to 10. The message is not that Torah is abolished. The message is not obedience does not matter. The message is not do whatever you want. The true message is you cannot save yourself. You cannot earn forgiveness. You cannot boast before Yahuah. Salvation is Yahuah's gift. But after receiving that gift, you are created anew to walk in the good works Yahuah prepared from the beginning. Ephesians 2 verse 8 to 10 does not teach favor instead of obedience. It teaches favor produces obedience. Deliverance produces transformation. And a redeemed people walk in the ways of Yahuwah from a changed heart rather than to earn his acceptance. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 15 is also one of the most misused verses in Scripture. Having abolished in his flesh the enmity, the Torah of the commands and dogma, so as to create in himself one renewed man from the two, thus making peace. Many religious systems teach that this verse says the entire Torah of Yahuwah was abolished. But when read in its full context, Shaul is not speaking about the abolition of Yahuwah's instructions. He is speaking about the removal of the hostility and man-made barriers that divided Yasharal and the nations. The context begins in Ephesians 2, verse 11 to 13. Therefore remember that you, once nations in the flesh, who are called the uncircumcision by what is called the circumcision made in the flesh by hands, that at that time you were without Messiah, excluded from the citizenship of Yasharal, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no expectation, and without Elohim in the world. But now in Messiah Yahusha, you who once were far off have been brought near by the blood of the Messiah. The subject of the chapter is two groups of people, Yehuda and Yasharal, and the nations also know as Gentiles. The question is not how can the Torah be abolished. The question is how can two separated peoples become one. Ephesians 2 verse 14, for he is our peace, who has made both one, and having broken down the partition of the barrier. The entire context is reconciliation of people. The middle wall is not the Torah. The Torah never separated people from Yahuwah. The Torah was given to draw people to Yahuwah. Psalm 19 verse 7. The Torah of Yahuwah is perfect, bringing back the being. The witness of Yahuwah is trustworthy, making wise the simple. Romans 7 verse 12. So that the Torah truly is set apart, and the command set apart and righteous and good. If the Torah is perfect, set apart, righteous and good, then it cannot be the enemy that Mashiach came to destroy. What was abolished? Ephesians 2 verse 15. Having abolished in his flesh the enmity, the Torah of the commands and dogma, so as to create in himself one renewed man from the two, thus making peace. The key word is dogma. The Greek word is dogmasin. This word refers to decrees, ordinances, human regulations, and legal requirements. It does not refer to Yahuah's eternal Torah itself. The same word is used in Acts 17 verse 7, whom Jason has received, and all of them are acting contrary to the dogmas of Caesar, saying there is another sovereign, Yahusha. Colossians 2 verse 14, having blotted out that which was written by hand against us, by the dogmas, which stood against us, and he has taken it out of the way, having nailed it to the stake. Dogma refers to legal decrees and man-made regulations. What was the enmity? The enmity was the hostility between Yehudim, Yasharal, and the nations or Gentiles. By the 1st century, many human traditions had created division. The nations were viewed as unclean. Separation walls had been built. Man-made religious barriers existed. Yahuwah never commanded hatred between Yasharal and the nations. Isaiah 56 verse 6 to 8. Also the sons of the foreigner who join themselves to Yahuwah, to serve him, and to love the name of Yahuwah, to be his servants, all who guard the Sabbath, and not profane it, and are holding on to my covenant. Them I shall bring to my set-apart mountain, and let them rejoice in my house of prayer. Their ascending offerings and their slaughterings are accepted on my slaughter place. For my house is called a house of prayer for all the peoples, already declared that foreigners who join themselves to Yahuwah would be accepted. Yahuwah's plan was always to gather the nations. The Torah never created the division. Sin created the division. Man-made interpretations created the division. Pride created the division. The Messiah removed the enmity. He did not remove the standard of righteousness. If he removed the Torah, then there would be no sin. Yet Scripture says in 1 John 3 verses 4, everyone doing sin also does lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. If the Torah were abolished, sin would no longer exist, but the apostles continue to define sin after the resurrection. Therefore the Torah was not abolished. Ephesians 2 verse 19 to 22 reveals its purpose. So then you are no longer strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens of the set-apart ones and members of the household of Elohim, having been built upon the foundation of the emissaries and prophets, Yahusha Messiah himself being chief cornerstone, in whom all the building, being joined together, grows into a set-apart dwelling place in Yahuwah, in whom you also are being built together into a dwelling of Elohim in the Spirit. You are no longer strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the set-apart ones. Notice this. The nations do not replace Yasharal. Yasharal is not replaced. Both become one people, one commonwealth, one household, one temple and one body. Compare with Yahush's own words. Matthew 5 verse 17 to 19. Do not think that I came to destroy the Torah or the prophets. If Ephesians 2 verse 15 taught the abolition of the entire Torah, it would directly contradict Yahush's own declaration. Scripture does not contradict Scripture, the hidden revelation. The real thing destroyed on the stake was not Yahuah's Torah. The real thing destroyed was the enmity, the dividing wall, the record of transgressions, the curse resulting from disobedience, the human systems that kept the nations far away. The Torah reveals Yahuah's character. The enmity distorted Yahuah's character. Messiah removed the distortion so that both houses could be reunited. Ephesians 2 verse 15 does not say Yahuah's Torah was abolished. The chapter is about the reconciliation of two peoples into one. The enmity was abolished. The dogmatic decrees that stood as barriers were abolished. The dividing wall was abolished. The record of guilt against sinners was dealt with. But Yahuah's righteous standard was not abolished. Ephesians chapter 2 is not the Torah is gone. The message is about the two have become one new man in Messiah, reconciled to Yahuah, and joined together as one household of Yasharal under the peace of Yahusha. Why do many religious systems use Ephesians 2 verse 15 to teach the abolition of the Torah? The primary reason is that Ephesians 2 verse 15 is often read as an isolated verse. Instead of being read with the entire chapter, the entire letter, and the rest of Scripture, when a single phrase is removed from its context, having abolished in his flesh the enmity, many immediately assume the Torah was abolished. But Shaul's entire discussion is not about abolishing Yahuah's instructions. It is about removing the hostility that separated people from each other and from the covenant. The chapter is about people, not commandments. Ephesians 2 verse 11 to 12. Therefore remember that you, once nations in the flesh, who are called the uncircumcision by what is called the circumcision made in the flesh by hands, that at that time you were without Messiah, excluded from the citizenship of Yasharal, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no expectation, and without Elohim in the world. The nations were strangers, foreigners, without the covenants, and without hope. The problem was not the existence of Torah. The problem was separation from the covenant people. The question of the chapter is, how do those who were far off become near? Not how can the Torah be destroyed? Many religious systems begin with a pre-existing belief that the Torah is no longer valid. Then they search for verses that appear to support that belief. Ephesians 2 verse 15, Colossians 2 verse 14, Romans 10 verse 4, Galatians chapter 3, Hebrews chapter 7, are often read through this lens. Instead of allowing Scripture to define Scripture, a doctrinal conclusion is assumed first. Then the verses are interpreted to fit the conclusion. The word dogma is often overlooked. Ephesians 2 verse 15 does not say, the Torah of Yahuah. It speaks of commandments and dogma. Dogma refers to decrees, ordinances, regulations, and legal requirements. The emphasis is upon the enmity produced through regulations and barriers. The subject of the sentence is the enmity. The enmity is what is abolished, not righteousness, not obedience, not Yahuah's character. Many fail to compare Ephesians chapter 2 with the prophets. Isaiah 56 verse 6 to 8. Foreigners join themselves to Yahuah. Ezekiel 37 verse 15 to 28. The two sticks become one. Hosea 1 verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Yasharal shall be as the sand of the sea, which is not measured nor counted. And it shall be in the place where it was said to them, you are not my people. They shall be called, you are the sons of the living Almighty. Those who were not my people become my people. Jeremiah 31 verse 31 to 33. The Torah is written on the heart. The prophets never say, the Torah will be abolished. They say the people will be restored. This is exactly what Ephesians chapter 2 is describing. The greatest confusion comes from failing to distinguish between the Torah and the curse of breaking the Torah. Galatians 3 verses 13. Messiah redeemed us from the curse of the Torah, having become a curse for us. For it has been written, cursed is everyone who hangs. He did not redeem us from righteousness. He did not redeem us from obedience. He redeemed us from the penalty of transgression. Many religious systems merge these two things into one. Thus the curse is removed, and they conclude the Torah must also be removed. If Ephesians 2 verse 15 means the Torah is abolished, a major problem appears. Matthew 5 verse 17 to 19. Yahushua said, "Do not think that I came to destroy the Torah." Romans 3 verse 31. Do we then nullify the Torah through belief? Let it not be. Rather, we establish the Torah. Romans 7 verse 12. The Torah is set apart and righteous and good. If Ephesians 2 verse 15 teaches the abolition of Torah, these passages would contradict each other. Scripture does not contradict Scripture. Ephesians 2 verse 15 must be speaking about something other than the abolition of Yahuah's righteous instruction. The chapter itself defines its purpose. Ephesians 2 verse 15. To create in himself one new man from the two. The goal is not the destruction of Torah. The goal is the creation of one people. The chapter begins with two groups. The chapter ends with one body, one household, one temple, and one commonwealth. This is the central message. Deepest level of revelation. The enemy's most effective strategy is not to make people hate Scripture. It is to make them believe Scripture says the opposite of what it actually says. The deepest issue in Ephesians 2 is not Torah versus no Torah. It is the restoration of a divided house. From Genesis to Revelation, Yahuah's plan is gather the scattered, restore the covenant, unite the two houses, bring the nations into the promise, and create one people under his reign. Ephesians chapter 2 is a fulfillment picture of Ezekiel chapter 37. The two shall become one in my hand. The final revelation of the chapter is not the Torah has been abolished, but the wall has been abolished, not the Torah. The enmity has been abolished, not the Torah. The separation has been abolished, not the Torah. The curse has been dealt with, not the Torah. The two have become one new man, and those who were far off have been brought near to the covenants. The commonwealth of Yasharal and the household of Yahuah through Yahushua, the Messiah. Thank you for watching and see you on my next video. May Yahuah baruch us and guides us. Shalom and have a great Yom.